I told you that your ROG Ally right now can do everything that the new one can do? So how would that make this ROG Ally an Xbox when all of the handhelds can do the same things and play the same games? So we're going to get into that. I'm kind of getting heated already.
What is there to be angry about, man? You was out here pocket watching a grown man just because he spent $1,000 on an Xbox handheld. You know, the same one that Microsoft endorsed. Well, it's the same thing as the other ROG. Well, then what is the problem then, man? Why do you care this much about how a grown man spends his money, bro? Ain't nobody telling you to do the same thing while you out here riding on your pathetic scooter. Oh, why are you spending all that money on a scooter when you could have got yourself a real vehicle? Nobody cares, bro. You know, maybe Doc was right. Maybe there's levels to this because there's got to be levels to this embarrassment, man. And the fact that this dude said, I'm heated about this. You really upset about what another man did with his own money? Bruh, you ponies got to listen to yourself, man. There's something physically wrong with you dudes, man. And I don't even care at this point. Because this is ridiculous, bro. It's not an Xbox handheld, even though it plays Xbox games. If I sign in with my Xbox, it's not because it don't play 360 games. So, according to your logic, my Xbox is more of a PlayStation than your PS5 because I can actually play PS1 and 2 games. Matter of fact, I can play Super Nintendo, I can play Sega Gen, I can play all these games through Xbox Dev Mode. So, therefore, my Xbox is more of a PlayStation than even your own PS5 because it can play more of your games, right? Oh, but that's cheating. Y'all use it. It doesn't matter. I can. So, and then he brings up the fact that, oh, well, you know, the same games that drop on PC are the same games that drop on console. That is not what differentiate a console from a PC. You big dummy. At the end of the day, it's a gaming console. They even go as far to say, matter of fact, we're going to have a shout out with VGFightSchool because he even exposes this. They even call the ROG Ally that you have now, the one you keep touting about, a gaming PC console. And yet for some reason, it's not an Xbox one, even though it has the logo, it has the controller configuration, it has all these things. But yet, y'all say it's not different. So if it's not any different, then why would it matter? Which also would mean, why would you care if people buy that one in favor of the one that you got? Oh, that's right. Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl, because Microsoft endorsed that model. So therefore, you don't want people to buy that one, even though you say it's the same thing. So if it's the same thing, then why are you complaining? That's what I don't understand, man. But go ahead.
He said they're so mad. Now, I was talking about the Xbox ROG Ally not being an Xbox. And I said it's not an Xbox. And I responded to him, man, it's stupidity. Xbox fans falling for the same stuff over and over.
So would you call the PlayStation Portal not a PlayStation because it couldn't play the PlayStation 2 games? That makes no sense. Yeah, they had their own different versions. Like they had, what was it, Shin Budokai, and the PS2 had Budokai 1, 2, and 3. But would you go as far to say that the PlayStation Portable is not a portable because it couldn't play the games of the PlayStation 2, even though they had some ports? Because let's not forget, not all those games were one for one. They had to make different versions for those games. No different than the Xbox handheld, where you're playing a PC version of the game that's available on Xbox. But you wouldn't go as far to say that the PSP is not a PlayStation Portable, would you? Because it's a different version of Star Wars Battlefront 2 in comparison to the PS2 version? Bro, you just bodied your own argument. You people don't know nothing about gaming electronics.
Again, 100, or I should say 1,000 USD for a handheld that can. But it's always respectful. Yes, I called him a moron in the heat of the moment, but I did apologize for it. But I didn't against him. I'm going to assume he has nothing personal against me. We just have different views. Now, I'm just sitting back, minding my own business, and I'm seeing that content creators, they're coming out and saying, oh, it's an
No, you weren't minding your own business. Doc put out a tweet saying he got the Xbox handheld, and you out there saying, it's not an Xbox handheld. It's not going to move the needle. You responded to what he put. Therefore, it means that you was the one looking. Bro, you ain't going to try to spin these narratives with me, man. I catch everything. So I don't know what you think you're doing. I was just minding. You wasn't minding your own business. You was getting angry. You even said it at the beginning of this video. I was getting heated because I know you're pissed that the Xbox handheld sold out.
But some content creator posted a video regarding my Asus TUF 5090 saying how I have an Asus branded NVIDIA GPU. So it's
what a
kind of
hypocrite
to being the same thing. How I can't call my Asus stuff not an NVIDIA GPU because it is an NVIDIA GPU, and I don't understand.
Wow, what a hypocrite!
Connect.
Of course you don't, because you're a fanboy.
They really try to cope a lot. And you know me here on this channel, we're just going to be dealing with facts. To equate that to the ROG Ally saying, well, Asus makes a 5090, it's still an NVIDIA 5090, so if Asus makes a handheld device and call it an Xbox, it's an Xbox. No, it's not an Xbox because it does not play native Xbox games. It plays the PC versions of the game.
It doesn't matter. There's still Xbox games, though. There's still games that Microsoft made, which to some people would say that it's the better version. What is there to be complaining about? This is my whole thing. What is there to be really getting that angry about as to why people are picking up this handheld in the first place? Like you guys said, the vast majority of you people already got one. Y'all just don't got one with the Xbox label on it. So why does it matter that much that people want to pick up this one? Because they probably like the controller configuration. They probably like the Xbox button on it. Whatever reasons as to why they want to get it is their reason. Just like you wanted to buy one without the Xbox label on it. You feel me?
It is a PC handheld that conveniently has an Xbox button on it as well as...
But I thought it wasn't an Xbox.
Grip, a more, Xbox-like grip. So,
but I thought it wasn't an Xbox.
It's kind of customized towards Xbox.
Oh, it's customized towards Xbox, but it's not an Xbox.
But at the same time, it is a PC handheld because all of the other PC handhelds that are out in the market can play the exact same games that the Xbox ROG Ally can play.
But hold on. But that doesn't mean that they're not their own brand, though. Oh, just caught you. See, you see how they be cooking their own argument? Don't worry, we're going to get to VGFightSchool. I'm going to have to shout him out because he's actually the only one really touching up on this. Funny thing is, so what about the Lenovo Go? Oh, you could do the same things on that, but that's not a ROG though. But you could do the same things though, but it's from a different brand, right? Different manufacturer, right? No different than the Apple and iPhone. Is it Apple? I don't know. I don't really care for those phones, but I'm just saying the different brands though. A phone is a phone. Like you know what, man? Go ahead. I don't know.
Because guess what? It's a PC. Any game that's available on PC can be played on these handhelds. They cannot play Xbox games natively. So
PSP couldn't play PlayStation games natively. PS Vita could not play PlayStation 4 or 5, whatever games natively. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? That doesn't necessarily mean that the PSP is not a PlayStation because it couldn't play PlayStation 2 games. It had its own software.
I don't even know what the argument is all about. Like, I think
there really isn't no argument. It's you PlayStation fanboys creating an argument out of absolutely nothing.
It's pretty much the end of the story. Now, the one person here, you can see them, I'm not going to say their name, and see that plays all games that are available on PC, because guess what? It is a handheld PC device. End of story. Now, I want to move over to some of the capabilities.
You're starting to rub me up the wrong way. It's an Xbox if you can access your Xbox library and play Xbox games on it.
So a Nintendo GameCube is not a Nintendo GameCube because it couldn't play 64? So hold on. Because back then we used to just call that backwards compatibility, baby. That's what we used to call it. So, let me get this straight. So, a Sega Saturn is not a Sega Saturn because they don't play Genesis games? But it had its own software, right? Bruh. See, I mean, I'm just saying, man, we already know why Digital Foundry do these videos, man. Obviously, it's to garner more attention for their channel. They don't even care what they're saying. They love it. They love when people like D-Batch, like, yeah, they're right on. And then when they say a conflicting argument, then they have a problem. But that doesn't make any sense. So you're saying that this is not an Xbox handheld or whatever. It's Xbox branded. Therefore, it's an Xbox handheld. It's branded. It's already branded in the handheld. You can say whatever you want about any other one, but you can't sit there and say that about this one. It's branded, it's endorsed, it's funded by Microsoft, which therefore means it's an Xbox handheld, regardless if there's other ones. Y'all like, oh, snap games. Exactly. You guys try to flip the narratives. You guys try to flip all this trickery with all these confusing words to try to get people to understand, well, it's not an Xbox. Well, PlayStation can't play every PlayStation game, can it? Can you play PS3 games on it? Can you play PS1 and 2 games natively? Matter of fact, can you even put a PlayStation 1, 2, or 3 disc in your console and will it play? It won't. So I guess the PS5 is not a PlayStation, right? Exactly.
Richard Ledbetter, you and I know.
Woo!
You know
Talk to him.
that is actually not
Talk to
an
him.
accurate standard
Talk
that
to
you can
him.
actually stand behind. D-Batch, are you watching? Watch you cook you via Ledbetter cooking himself and you in tandem. Keep going, Richard.
Without limitations. There are limitations. So that, that thing, I can understand it's almost like a break with the past. This is an Xbox. Then maybe in brackets underneath it should be going forward. Because there's, it's not an Xbox really. I can't play my 360 games on there. I can't.
What? You can't even play all 360 games. See, that's a terrible argument. That's what I brought up. That's why, hey, shout out. Make sure you guys go watch this video on VGFightSchool's channel. What are you talking about? The Xbox Series doesn't play every 360 game, no? It only plays the ones that are backwards compatible. What did y'all think this was? Did y'all really thought y'all had an argument here? That is the dumbest argument that I've ever heard. So I guess the Nintendo 64 is not a Nintendo 64 because I can't play my Super Nintendo game on it. What are we talking about, guys, bro? Listen, man, please, can we get some rational people in my comment section, bro? I mean, matter of fact, bring the clowns. We'll laugh at you.
360 games? So what did I do? I dug into the box, and yes, I do have some physical copies.
Hey, that's a good game.
360 game that I actually
That's
bought,
a great game, actually.
thinking I could play it on my Xbox Series X. It's called Spider-Man Friend or Foe. This game isn't playable here. For a list of original Xbox and Xbox 360
So I guess it's not an original Xbox or 360 because the game ain't playable.
It will go to xbox.com/back.
It don't play the game natively. It's an Xbox PC with the Xbox skin. It's not moving the needle.
At in parentheses.
Y'all dumb. Y'all stupid. Y'all are dumb.
Closed. So, if someone like Richard Ledbetter is actually using this as a yardstick, I can see how D-Batch, who thinks that expertise is based on having a huge subscriber base, right, is the way that this whole matter actually exists. But, Brad, do you see what I'm actually trying to point out here? I know you all like PlayStation.
And there's a guy named Jacob, so you agree the PlayStation 5 is not a PlayStation because it doesn't play your entire PlayStation library. Thank you, Jacob, bro. I mean, there's some rational people on Twitter. I just like, you see, I don't use this because look how stupid and foolish these people are. You're claiming that it's not an Xbox, right? But matter of fact, the Xbox handheld plays a lot of the current Xbox, Assault for Midnight, Gears Reload, Ninja Gaiden 4, a lot of these Xbox playing. It plays a lot of current titles, right? I think most people knew that not every single game. I heard Microsoft is working on it though, guys. This is what they're trying to do. I'm gonna tell you guys. So nobody takes my credit. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to merge the console and PC together. So eventually, yes, those games that are also playable on Xbox will also be played on PC. That is the strategy that Microsoft is going with. Y'all like, what would you talk about games? So essentially, Xbox and PC, the market is going to be all together. Well, at least this is what Microsoft is potentially planning. So those 360 games that are locked away on the Xbox 360 console will more likely also be played on PC. No different than how they're also played on the Xbox console. And the reason why I know this is because of x86 architecture. Microsoft has been using this architecture since the original Xbox. So this could be very possible and actually happening in the foreseeable future. But we'll just have to wait and see. You know, they might say, hey, we might as well remake it. I mean, we're selling games to ponies. At the end of the day, it's whatever Microsoft decides. But this is something that they're working on.
Get it. I get it. But there's got to be some level of intellectual honesty in the conversation so that we can actually move forward.
Facts.
Because you, in your comment, which I have to point out, You said that this device, me claiming that the Xbox ROG Ally is a handheld console/PC, is incorrect. But why would I make such a claim if I didn't actually have at least some indication that that is exactly what it is? I mean,
oh, VG, don't do it to them, man. It even says handheld console on the box. Oh, no. Y'all kept saying it's a PC, but it says handheld console PC. Oh, no. See, people have to understand. Let me break these terms down for you guys, right? The reason why we don't call, because you can call a phone many things. As technology advances, things start having multiple purposes. The reason why we still call it a cell phone is because the way it's built, right? And also the main usage of a phone. I mean, I could call a phone a tablet if I really wanted to. Search the web, you watch movies, whatever, right? Videos. I might not even use it for the sole purpose of calling anybody. But the reason why we still call a phone because, one, the build of it, right? And then the main purpose of why somebody would buy one. Get what I'm saying? That's why we call it a phone. When you look at this, when people's like, oh, it's just a PC. Listen, PCs have multiple purposes, right? We all know that. The reason why we call this a handheld console PC has more to do with the fact that the main purpose, the market, should I say, that is going to buy this product is going to buy it for gaming. Ain't nobody buying this and saying, I'm going to fax some things to my job. Nobody's buying this for that. You're like, oh, snap games. I see what you're saying. Now, if you're talking about in regards to a desktop, yeah, you can call that a PC because you might buy that for gaming. Check. You might buy that for work. Check. You might buy it for other things besides one thing. Ain't nobody buying a handheld console from ROG or Xbox or whoever to print out some things out of a fax machine. You're like, damn, GameStop. But it's a P. See what I'm saying? No different than a console. That's why they call it a handheld console, because the main purpose of the, not saying you can't do more with it, but the main purpose of why you are buying one is to play handheld, which is what the build of it is, and it's a console, because more likely it's streamlined to play console gaming. This is not for people to buy to do their work. Oh, I'm buying it so I can print out things at my fax machine. You're like, damn, game, so you the only dude, and also VGFightSchool that's breaking it down for your fools, okay? That's like saying, okay, like another example, right? The PlayStation 2. That had a DVD player, right? Do we call the PlayStation 2? It's a multimedia device. Do we call it a DVD player, or do we call it a game console? Even though most people did use it as a DVD player. But the point still stands that it was marketed and advertised for playing video games. The market also has a lot to do with it too, okay? Of what they're trying to sell, the purpose of this. So therefore, the fact that they're trying to sell this as a device that sells games makes it a handheld console PC. That's what it makes it. Which therefore makes it a console. Because the main purpose of what you're doing, even though it has a variety of how you could do it, is all reflective of video games. Ain't nobody buying this ROG Ally to print out things out of a fax machine. Y'all know this. PC, if you buy a desktop, you could use it for gaming, work. There's different editing. There's different reasons as to why somebody would buy that. You feel what I'm saying? But if you buy this, we know what you're buying it for. Therefore, I've already answered your questions.
The Xbox ROG Ally X as a handheld console PC is incorrect. When ASUS themselves call their already established ROG Ally and ROG Ally X device a handheld console PC, every single person. But I want to focus on the cure for a content creator, D-Batch, who is actually, in my opinion, claiming that he has this knowledge of PC gaming PC ecosystem.
No knowledge.
But I think is obfuscating the truth and purposefully deceiving people.
You guys calling it a high-end portable PC is also very disingenuous, because nobody's buying it for work. Nobody's buying it for those other aspects. You get what I'm saying? As a desktop PC, which can be used in multiple, so we would just have to broaden it and just say PC. But anything that is marketed and prioritized in the market that it's trying to do, that is what's going to be called a gaming console. That's what it is. Oh, but you could download this. Doesn't matter. The predominant use of what people are buying it for is for video gaming. That's it. Oh, I'm going to print out something out of my fax machine, out of my ROG Ally. Nobody's doing that, bro. Cut the cap. Come on, let's cut it. I use it for my work. Let's cut it. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut it. I just destroyed all y'all. Make sure y'all share this video. Make sure y'all let everybody know because I just broke it down. Oh, but because if that was the case, then I could call a phone a tablet, a miniature tablet. I could do the same things I could do on a phone that I could do on a tablet. But why don't we call it a phone? Because the main purpose and the main market and the main thing of what you use it for is for call and text. All the other things, and this is what happened when technology. See, the problem is with you people, y'all came from the days of MP3 play music, phone made phone calls, DVD players played DVD, gaming consoles played games. That's why y'all still stuck in the 80s and 90s. But once things became multimedia, that's when their brains started rotting. That's when their brains started rotting. When everything became multimedia, because back in Porter Rock's days, the Sony Walkman was for music. The cell phones was for calling people. The gaming console was for playing. The CD player was for playing audio CDs. Everything back then had one purpose and one purpose only. Since everything became multimedia, this is what has confused you guys as to what the purpose is of these damn electronics.
Do you see how Digital Foundry basically cooked themselves into a corner? And D-Batch, being the expert at cooking himself in his own arguments, has basically attached himself to them because Jamie's ACT, whom, because console warring is console warring, thinks he's got a one-up on everybody, yet has given me free material as well as everybody else. Let me listen to the rest of what Richard Ledbetter says here.
Playing the OG games, limited access to my series library, etc., etc.
So you just bodied yourself, though, whatever your name is. You just bodied yourself. You literally just bodied yourself. Because then that PlayStation 5 is not a PlayStation, according to what you're saying. Because you can't, bro. Let's go. Let's hear this again.
As everybody else.
Rip into him,
Let
V.
me listen to the rest
Get
of
him,
what
V.
Richard Ledbetter says here.
Get him, V.
Playing the OG games, limited access to my series library, etc., etc., etc. That's
Limited library to your city. Matter of fact, you say that, you get no library PS1. Oh! No library PS2 unless it... Oh! PS3, you can't even play them natively. Oh! Oh! Mr. John Linneman Butter, what are you talking about? Oh! Oh!
Let me listen to the rest of what
One more time.
Says here.
One more time.
the OG games, limited access to my series.
It's even limited on the console. Bro. Oh my goodness. It's even limited on the console. You can't play every 360 game on the Xbox Series or Xbox One. That's limited right there. It's limited on the limited. It's limited. It's not even limited edition. It's John limited. What do you do? Where's John limited at? Where he at? John limited. Bro, come on, man.
Etc., etc., etc. That's kind of a bit of a challenge for me. And you're quite right, Alex. The kind of plug and play nature of a console isn't quite there yet. There are strides being made.
Now, this was before. You could tell before the.
Do you guys even understand what a console is? Wow.
Windows update that went out in the, to the people, the Windows Insider. Listen to the rest of what Richard Ledbetter says here.
Playing the OG games, limited access to my series library, etc., etc., etc. That's kind of a bit of a challenge for me.
There's actually more access off the series library than it is with the classics, though. Oh! I can play Gears of War Reloaded. Oh! I can play Hellblade 2. I can play all the Xbox Play Anywhere titles. If anything, you guys just destroyed your argument even more. Because if it was about the old games, you said, all right, bro, you said current.
Rest of what Richard Ledbetter
You know how many Xbox Play Anywhere current games there's already available? Let's hear it.
Playing the OG games, limited access.
We already know about that. So it's limited on everything.
My series library, etc., etc.
You said series library. What are you talking about? If Gears Reloaded, yeah, you might get the PC equivalent, but you're still getting the Gears of War game. What do you mean?
Etc. That's kind of a bit of a challenge for me. And you're quite right.
I'm done. You know, it's a challenge for me dealing with these fools. Shout out to VGFightSchool for making this video, man. D-Batch, you don't know what the hell you talking about. So stop talking about this man, bro. You don't know nothing about video gaming. Ain't none of y'all, man. Just like Roger Mayweather, this is Roger Game Mother. Y'all don't know nothing about no video gaming.